David Schmidt, LifeWave's founder and CEO, who made what some said was impossible, possible. David's commitment to tap into our natural human energy at the cellular level without drugs or stimulants had already been researching our body's aging process and how stem cells could help. He zeroed in on what was possible in activating existing stem cells. And then he figured out how to use LifeWave technology to elevate a copper peptide already proven, with decades of research behind it, to activate stem cells without injections.
So this is a form of low-level light therapy, and we're using it to elevate a peptide called GHK-Cu. It's known as copper peptide. And what do we know about this peptide, and how do we know it's great for our health? Well, this peptide was first discovered about 50 years ago by Dr. Lauren Picard. And what's really special about copper peptide is that it will regulate about 1/3 of the human genome. So it resets about 1/3 of your genes to a younger, healthier state. And part of this action is in causing the stem cells to activate with 60 people. And this shows that just within the first 24 hours, you get an increase in copper peptide. And this is important because levels of copper peptide drop as we age. And by the time we get over 60, our levels of copper peptide are down about 60 to 80%. And so correspondingly, you have a decrease in stem cell activity. So in other words, if we can increase your body's levels of copper peptide, we can recapture some of our youth. And that includes better stem cell activity. Now, what type of benefits do people see with X39? Well, here's a clinical study that we did with 50 people, and we took people over the age of 60 because they had very little stem cell activity. And what we found within the first 24 hours to 7 days is that there were statistically significant improvements in health. So let's take a look at this because it's exciting. We saw that over the period of the first week, we got an increase in the synthesis of amino acids. So what does that mean? Well, as an example, one of the amino acids that increased was leucine. Leucine is important because it's involved in muscle protein synthesis. So if you're someone that likes to exercise or you just want to recover faster, you need to metabolize leucine. So we saw that when people used X39, their metabolism of leucine improved about 30 to 40%. So that's improved speed of recovery after exercise. Now, something that just about everyone is concerned about is what is their memory going to be like as they age? And the good news here, which you're going to see some very exciting pictures in a moment, is that just within the first week of using X39, people's memory improved. Just imagine that, just 7 days. You're 7 days away from a better memory. We don't make any claims about this, but we did see a reduction in blood pressure when people had high blood pressure when they're using X39. We saw that there was improvement in the muscle, 4 chambers of the heart, the ratio of muscle contractions. That's called heart rate variability. We saw that sleep improved within the first 24 hours. And we saw that vitality and even depth of breathing improves when using X39. Now, we were talking about memory, and so if you're someone whose brain is important to them because of work and other things, then you're going to be really excited about this. We did an initial study with 12 people, and later on we followed it up with a larger study of 50 people, and we wanted to do brain mapping using EEG. Now, you'll notice that in these scans, there's a woman 77 years old, and session 1 is the baseline. So let's see what she's like before using X39. Session 2 is after 3 weeks, and session 3 is after 6 weeks. So we see that in as little as 3 weeks of using X39, even for people over the age of 70, there is still a dramatic improvement in brain cognition. So memory, focus, speed of processing. Some people, it takes a little bit longer. We still see an improvement in the 67-year-old man after 3 weeks, but the big change comes after 6 weeks. So this would be to say, if that during the first week or two you don't notice anything, you could be one of those people that just needs a little bit more time to respond. So stay with it. Now, what happens out in real life? Well, when you use X39, one of the things that stem cells do really well is make collagen.